Hi, my name's Greg Branson from the Design Business Council. And today I wanted to have a chat about leadership and management in creative businesses. This is a space we've looked at for a long time. What we've noticed is that most people who are in leadership roles in creative businesses, and that's you, perhaps as a business owner, whether you're a sole operator or the owner of an 80-person creative business, you're a leader. So is the creative director and the design director and the senior designers and the account service or account directors. They're all leaders in the design business. We define design leadership as having happy people, a healthy business, and that you're looking after the people and delivering a profit for the business. That's what we call design leadership. The problem with design leadership is it's not taught. You were taught the creative side of it, so you've learnt to lead and make decisions about the creative output of the business. And you did that as soon as you started your university course, and you've honed those skills over the years as you've worked in creative businesses. And you know the pathways you need to go down to make a decision about a creative solution. And generally speaking, you've learned it by observation and trial and error, and because you've done it so often, and because you've got it based on a design process, you've been able to fairly accurately lead the team in producing creative outputs. And this is obviously vital in a creative business. But the other side of it is that you do need to have an understanding of leadership and management of the business side of it. And this isn't taught in design schools. It's not taught in business schools or business courses because none of them actually concentrate on the creative business. Managing creative people, managing a creative process, aside from the producing of the creative outputs, is something you're not taught. Managing creative people, managing creative work with clients is not taught. It's an area that you really have to learn, generally by trial and error. The problem is with the trial and error, many people resolve an issue in the business, in a creative business. They resolve it and they find they get a good result, but they don't actually have a pathway to go back. They don't have a map to go back and do the same again when a similar or the same issue crops up. What we know about leading and managing a creative business, you've got those two balancing points. You've got the creative and you've got the dollars, and that they have to overlap in this happier, healthier creative business. In the financial side, you've got efficiency, you've got productivity, you've got profitability, and you've got utilization. They're all factors you have to take into account to deliver that sort of profitable outcome. With the creative side of it, we're saying that there's really four key factors that you have to look at in leading a creative business. The work has to be stimulating. It shouldn't be boring and it shouldn't be repetitive. The second thing is mastery, knowing the whole job, not just a little bit of it that you've been given or you're giving to somebody. It's understanding the place that you're doing within the big picture, and getting the feedback you need to gain that mastery. The next one is agency, your ownership of it. So the autonomy you're given, but that balanced with the control and influence of people perhaps more experienced, who can help make sure that the agency you gain is useful. And then there's the relational side of it. There is a social connection that needs to occur whilst this work is being created. So the problem is you're trying to balance all of these things out. What we know is one side, you're talking about viability, you're talking about the financial outputs, outcomes, and the creative outcomes. But on the other side, you've got to make sure that the work that you're getting people to do is tolerable in its level. So that's why we've come up with a happier, healthier, creative business canvas. The idea of this canvas is that we're saying you need to look after your people and deliver a profit. It's a holistic tool and it's a roadmap, and it helps business owners develop a sustainable, thriving business and the people in the business. So the issue we've identified is that there hasn't been a roadmap for creative business owners and managers to help them reach the sorts of decisions they need to make in the running of the business. And this is it. Now, we developed this in conjunction with Streamtime. You don't need Streamtime software to be able to use this. It's very analog in some ways. But Andy Wright at Streamtime, we've had a lot to do with him. Carol works a lot with Never Not Creative, which is run by Andy Wright and funded by Streamtime. We had some discussions with him because we recognised the data that we had collected, the knowledge we had about the creative industry in Australia was massive. And we wanted to check a lot of that data and benchmarks. And the only other group in Australia that's got similar sort of information was Streamtime. So we teamed up with Andy to say, look, are we on the right path? And I'm glad we did, because Andy made a huge input because of his mentally healthy approach to creative businesses. And he helped bring about the shape of this canvas as it is now. So if you look at this as a roadmap, there's 25 points on this roadmap, but they are really thoughtfully constructed. So I just want to go through what that construction is. On the start point, we've got the personal side. So this is put on your oxygen mask before helping others type stuff. So we're saying, as the business owners or managers, these are the considerations that you need to look at if you want to be a good leader. So the idea of this personal columns is there's a whole set of questions that sit back behind this that you need to ask to answer these things. The next is the business itself. So looking at the business model, what is the model and is it working? The viability of it. So you're looking at cost structures and revenue streams and just how sustainable they both are. The pillars of expertise, what areas do you really excel in that you can build on? The pitch, and then can you define and communicate the value that you're delivering to clients, particularly coming out of those pillars? And then the impact, can you measure the design impact for your business, your clients and their customers? And within your business, we're talking about the impact on not just the financial side, but the people in the business. So this is looking at the business side of it. This is typically what you would find in canvases. The personal column, you'd rarely find in these canvases. Product and service is common in a lot of these canvases as well. So we start by looking at the services and have you actually looked at the services you've got and worked out whether they're matching client needs? Then the costing and pricing. So have you identified the true cost of delivering services and how does that fit in the pricing that you're then setting for your clients? The positioning, then how you clearly express your market positioning. Then the new business strategy. Have you defined your design value proposition and worked out how to communicate that to the clients? And profit, finally. Is there enough profit to grow and pay fair wages? Most important. Then this is another section that you don't typically find in these business canvases. We talk about the team as a group. Then down to the individual, again, another section that's not commonly seen in these sorts of business canvases. That's the roadmap itself, but let's take a look at how that works. And there's a lot of thought gone into how we can turn all of that into something that's useful as a roadmap. So the way we approach using the roadmap is much like any roadmap. How do we get from here to there? So we've identified about 50 questions you would ask in a creative business to then interrogate this canvas to make sure that it was all working properly. So let's say you decided you wanted to get more work with and from marketing agencies. Let's say you've been doing a bit of work with them, you've identified them as a strength you've got, you understand how they work, and you want to get more work from them. So how do you use this roadmap to help you guide that path? And then having it as a roadmap, you can go back and go over it again next time. So we go to our canvas, the full canvas. We then say, because we're talking about an area of expertise, we start with pillars. So what we want to do is we want to look at the pillars that we're working in and see where marketing agencies fit into that. We then go and have a look at positioning. How do we position ourselves with marketing agencies at the moment? Then we move to our new business strategy. So what have we actually put in place, or what can we put in place based on our positioning to actually get more work with marketing agencies? Then that leads into the pitch. What's the pitch that we're going to put to them? So this is a typical roadmap usage. We have a start point that we identify, which is usually based and can be fairly well understood to come from the question that you're asking. So what we've done is, in all the questions that we've posed, we've given one of these little roadmaps and said how you actually progress. So what's hidden in behind all of this is a whole lot of other information. We work around each of these. We don't have time in this presentation to do it, but that's the way that the canvas gets used. So where do we go from here with it? We've got a workshop happening, a half-day workshop. It's a face-to-face workshop. So what we're going to do there is we're going to introduce the canvas with more detail than what we've just shown. And then everyone in the workshop will have come along with a problem they're looking to solve. And we'll show them how to use the roadmap to solve that problem. If you need more information about this, feel free to contact me, Greg@designbusinesscouncil.com. Thanks very much.